So may I know, like, you're based out at which place?
Houston, Texas.
US.
Yes.
Okay. So may I know your qualification, Sushma?
I used to be a tax manager. I'm currently home. Uh,
All right. Okay, nice to know. Somebody else has also joined. May I know who has joined? Hello? Share my screen with you, please. Let me be able to see my screen. I've started sharing my screen. Sushma and Jeffrey, please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
You can see. How about you, Sushma?
yeah, I can see it too.
Okay, thanks a lot. So before we start off, let me tell you about myself. I'm Lavanya. I'm a FICO trainer. I have been giving online training for the past 4 years, and I have 6 years of relevant experience on FICO, and my total experience is 12 years. I'm based out in Hyderabad in India. So, Jeffrey, can you please tell me about yourself?
Well, uh, I'm everything.
Like,
So I have 10 years of experience. Started with computer technology.
okay,
Learned I started SAP 5 years ago, but I never worked with SAP. So I took some classes, but I'm quite new to SAP. But I'm more on the technology side because I work for a big company called Comcast, and I'm network engineer there. So
okay.
yeah.
Now, you're from which country?
I'm sorry.
You're from which country?
I'm from the Ivory Coast, but I live in the United States.
Oh, all right. Okay. So we can move ahead now.
Yes,
So
go ahead.
So I'm in slide number 2. I hope you are able to see slide number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are going to discuss, before we start off with SAP, we are going to discuss what ERP is. Okay. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So why we have to discuss ERP is SAP is an ERP. Okay. So that is why we are discussing what ERP is. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So why we have to have ERP when we already have many accounting packages in the market like Focus, Wings, Peachtree, Tally. When we have so many accounting packages in the market, why we have to go for an ERP? Okay. So what is the advantage of using ERP over an accounting package? Okay. So Enterprise Resource Planning is a suite of integrated applications. So this is the main advantage of having ERP. Integrated applications. That means there is an integration between the applications. So what do you mean by applications here? Applications here are nothing but the different modules. Nothing but the department themselves. Okay. So if you see the modules in SAP, like SAP FICO module, MM module, PP module, SD module, HR module, all these are nothing but the departments that we see in a company. Okay, like finance department, sales department, purchasing department. Okay. So those departments are converted as applications or modules. Okay. So here if you see, ERP is a, like, with ERP we have integration between the applications. Okay. Now, what is the purpose? What is that we are achieving out of this integration? Out of this integration, what is that we are achieving? With the help of this integration, we can know the status of different business commitments. Okay. So with this integration, we will know the status of different business commitments. So why we will have to know the status of business commitments? See, as a FICO person, you would want to enter some payment. You would want to make some payment to the vendor, or you would want to remind payment to a customer. In that case, you would want to know what is the status of the invoice. Okay, you would have raised some invoice. Your company would have raised some invoice to your customer, or you would have gotten some invoice from your vendor. So what is the status of that particular invoice, or what is the status of the order against the invoice? That means, on a single invoice, there could be many orders, right? So what is the status of the order, whether those orders have been completely delivered? Okay, so whichever it is. Okay, so the status of the business application, business commitments, you will be able to see. Okay, so how you will be able to see? If you are a FICO person, okay, the orders, whether it is sales order or the purchase orders, they would have been entered by the respective departments. Like sales orders will be entered by the sales department, and purchase orders will be entered by MM department. Okay, so in order to see the status of those business commitments like sales order or purchase order, as a FICO person, you need not contact any person from any department. You can check the status of those business commitments by yourself, provided you have proper authorization to those transactions. Okay, so that is the main purpose of having this integration between the applications is for this one. Okay, in order to track the status of the business commitments. Okay, so did you understand what ERP is? Why we are using ERP, and what is the purpose of having the integration?
Yes.
Okay. So the applications nothing but the departments that make up the system share data. That means they are sharing the data across the various departments. Okay. So now let us go to the third slide. Now here we are discussing SAP. What SAP is? So SAP is an application introduced by a company called SAP AG, and it was founded in Waldorf in Germany in the year 1972. Okay, so SAP was introduced in the year 1972 in Germany. So because it was like originated in Germany, definitely it will have a German name. So SAP stands for this in German language. But in English, it is Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. So this is an abbreviation. Okay, so never say SAP, always say SAP only. Okay, so it stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. So as we discussed, SAP is an integrated business software. So integration is there between the departments. Departments are nothing but the modules. Okay. Now let us move slide number 4. So here we see SAP R3. So what is this R3? Just now we have discussed what SAP is. Now let us discuss what R3 is. Okay. So this R3, in R3, R stands for real-time data processing. R stands for real-time data processing. So what is this 3 standing for? The 3 stands for 3 different layers in SAP. 3 different layers, which we are going to discuss in slide number 7. In slide number 7, we are going to discuss what those three layers are. Now back to slide number 4. So in R3, R stands for real-time data processing. So the latest version of R3 includes a comprehensive internet-enabled package. Okay, so what do you mean by this internet-enabled package? If at all you would want to work on any application, you need to install it in your system. But in case of SAP, you need not install the software. You just have to download the logon pack, get the internet connectivity, and get the credentials of the server. That's it. You will be able to log in SAP and work on it, provided you have internet connection. That's it. So you need not install the entire software. Just have to download the logon pad and get the credentials of the server. Okay, that is called the internet enabled package. Okay, now SAP is a table driven customization software. So what is this table driven? So you would have come across a word RDBMS. Okay, RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. So can you tell me any examples of RDBMS that you have used?
Oracle.
Oracle, very good. Oracle 9.9 or 8.8 version are RDBMS. Okay, so like in any RDBMS, if we see, the data is stored in the form of tables, so that we can have columns and rows in the tables. Similarly, even in SAP, SAP is also RDBMS. Why SAP is RDBMS? Because the backend database is nothing but Oracle. For SAP, the database that we're using is nothing but Oracle. Because Oracle is RDBMS, SAP is also RDBMS. That means whatever data that we are saving or storing will be stored in the form of tables. Okay, and that table consists of rows and columns. Okay, now it is table driven customization software. So what do you mean by this customization? So whenever you are buying SAP application from the company SAP AG, you will be provided with the standard config. So that standard config is required or enough to meet the requirement of the client or the customer. But in some cases, the requirement of the client will be in such a way that the standard config is not just enough. So we will have to do something extra. So that extra thing is called the customization. Okay, so customization means you're molding according to the requirement of the client. Okay, so there will be two things: the configuration, which is already standard, predefined, and the customization. Okay, but in real time, if we see, standard is recommended. So whatever we are proposing solutions to the client, it should be standard. If at all that standard is not meeting the requirement, only then you will have to go for customization, because customization will involve cost and time, enough cost and time. So that is why we prefer standard. So any questions so far till here? Sushma and Jeffrey?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm good so far.
All right. So we are going to the next slide, slide number 5. So ERP packages. In the market, like we can see so many ERP packages are there, but SAP is topping the list. Why SAP is topping the list among these many ERP packages? Like, Oracle Financials is there, BAN is there, JD Edwards is there. Okay, so companies which have already implemented JD Edwards and Oracle Financials are now implementing SAP. Okay. So why SAP is topping the list is due to the ease of customization. Okay. So customization means, which we already discussed just now, it is molding according to the client requirement. Okay. So it is due to the ease of customization that, that we are using SAP. Okay. And apart from this, many standard, in the standard itself, we have so many programs, exits. Okay. So this is also, one of the reason that SAP is topping the list. Okay. Now coming to the slide number 6. So if we see so many releases, have been introduced. Releases are nothing but the versions. Okay, so many versions have been introduced. The latest is EHP. EHP stands for Enhancement Package. The latest one is EHP. But if at all you would want to, practice on a demo server, please go for ECC 6.0. Okay, so if at all you would want to practice on IDS, then go for IDS with the version ECC Enterprise Central Component 6.0. The reason being, when you're working on 6.0 ECC, then you will be getting lesser number of errors when compared to EHP. When compared to EHP, you will be getting lesser number of errors in ECC 6.0. That is the reason. Okay, now with the introduction of 6.0 ECC, we have new GL concept. Okay, so in my course, I'm covering new GL as well. I'm covering new GL document splitting and parallel ledgers. Okay, so that you will not be able to see in the version 4.7. So with the introduction of 6.0, we have the concept of new GL. Okay, so in my course, I'm covering like FI, and in FI, GL, AP, AR and asset accounting will be there, and under controlling I have cost element accounting, cost center accounting, internal orders, period end closing, and PCA, COPA and product costing. And in product costing I'll be covering till standard costing. So entire the detailed course content will be sent by RVH Technologies to you. Okay, so I'm also providing a real-time course apart from the standard. Standard is this one, the FICO, along with integration. Not only FI and controlling, I'm also giving integration as well. Integration of FI with MM and ST. So the standard course is like FICO with integration, and the course will take around 2 months of time. 2 months means 60 hours. Okay, apart from that, I'm providing real-time training as well. Okay, and the course content will be sent by RVH Technologies to you. Okay, so please make sure for practice purpose you get ECC 6.0. Okay, so let us go to the slide number 7. So as I told you, we are going to discuss R/3 here, nothing but the architecture. So we have 3 layers. 3 stands for 3 layers. Presentation layer, which is also called GUI. GUI stands for graphical user interface. Then application layer, and then database layer. So presentation layer, what do you mean by this presentation layer? Presentation layer is nothing but when you open SAP, whatever SAP screen that you are able to see on the screen is called the presentation layer. Whatever SAP screen that you are able to see on your monitor is called presentation layer, nothing but GUI, graphical user interface. And then application layer. So application layer is whatever ABAP or technical person is making changes or program code changes. Okay, whatever program code he's writing, that is called the application layer. Okay, and then the database layer, as we discussed RDBMS. Okay, so this is the database layer. Earlier it was R by 2. Okay. So earlier when SAP was introduced, it was, R by 2. The earlier versions were R by 2. Now it is R by 3. Okay. Earlier presentation layer was there and integration database layer were integrated. Okay. Now it has been separated. Presentation, application and database. Okay. These three are the three layers. So that is why it is R by 3. 3 stands for 3 layers. Now coming to slide number 8. So this slide number 8 is regarding the landscape. So if we see the landscape, this is the very basic and standard landscape that we see in any project. But it does not mean that it will be the same in any project. Okay. So no two projects can have the same landscape. Okay, it depends upon project to project how the landscape has to be. So if we see the landscape here, we have development, quality and production. So what do you mean by this development, quality and production? So we have three systems present: development system, quality system and production system. The development system, the name itself, is self-explanatory. We are developing something. This system is for development. So what is that development? The ABAPer or the technical person is supposed to develop a program or a table. Okay, here. So as a functional consultant, so functional consultants are FICO person, MMSD, so on. So we are responsible for doing the configuration or customization in development system. So ABAPer will be writing the program code, and functional consultants will be doing the config or customization. So once all this development is done, it will be stored in a TR. TR stands TR. So TR stands for transport request. Okay. So once we are doing all this development, we are storing all that development, all those changes in a TR. TR stands for transport request. So in a TR, you will be able to see what all changes we have done. So how many types of TRs are there? How we are, releasing those TRs. All those I'll be covering in the coming classes. Okay, I'll be showing you in system how we are doing that. And once all the changes are, saved to a TR, we are supposed to do, the functional consultants are supposed to do some testing in development system. So the testing in development system is called unit testing, UNIT, unit testing. The testing in development system is called unit testing. Okay, so before we move the changes or move the TR, transport request to quality system, we are doing some testing in development system. That testing is called unit testing. And after we move the changes or TR to quality system, we will be checking if all the changes have been moved correctly or not. And then after we make sure that all the changes have been moved to quality system, then functional consultants are responsible for doing the testing in quality system, which is called integration testing. Very, very important. Integration testing is important. So we will have to document the integration testing. Okay. So like once our course is done, then I'm going to share some real-time test script documents. Okay. How we are documenting the test scripts in real time. All those real-time documentation I'm going to share. Okay. So we are documenting the integration testing results. So what is integration testing? The testing performed by functional consultants in quality system is integration testing. So once our integration testing is completed and successful, then we are intimating our end users saying that our integration test is completed, and we will be sharing the test script with them. Okay, so we can upload the test script in a repository. If at all our project is having a repository, so repository could be like a SharePoint or a eRoom. Okay, it can be anything, or it can be Metadoc. So depending upon project to project, the repository also can change. Examples are eRoom, Metadoc, and SharePoint. So I will be giving you I'll be showing you the one of the repository also. Okay, so that will be at the end of the course. So after all the training is completed, I will be covering some real-time concepts. Okay, so then I will be showing you the repository. Okay, so we will be sharing the test scripts with the end users. Now the end users are responsible for testing by themselves. Okay, so the testing performed by end users is called UAT, nothing but user acceptance test. The testing performed by end users is called UAT, nothing but user acceptance test. Once the testing is completed by them and when it is successful, they will be providing a sign-off, that is called UAT sign-off. Okay, that means they are giving us permission to move the TR or changes to production system. That is called UAT sign-off. So in real time, you have to be very careful in getting UAT sign-off. UAT sign-off should always be in writing. Jeffrey, I am not moving the slide. Okay, I am not moving the slide. I am in the same slide. Okay, so in real time, if you see the UAT sign-off, we will have to get it in writing. Okay, yeah. So after you get the UAT sign-off, what we will be doing? We will be moving all the TRs or all the changes to production system. Okay, before we move the changes to production system, we are performing some cutover activities. Okay, so I will also be covering what those cutover activities are. Okay, so we will be doing some cutover activities. I'll be telling you the cutover activities like LSMW and BDC. Both the concepts I'm covering. Okay, so once all the changes are available in production system, then the system is set to be gone live. So once the system is set to be gone live, then the end users can work on production system in order to post day-to-day activities. Okay, so this is the process of movement of TR and how the config is done in development and how it is moved to higher systems. Higher systems are quality and production. Okay. So any questions here, Sushma and Jeffrey?
No, very good so far.
Okay.
So far good.
So you are able to understand properly the landscape?
Yes.
Okay. So very nice. Okay. So whenever we are buying SAP application, so we are provided with 000 client. This 000 client is called golden client, wherein the standard config is present. Okay, and for IDS the client number is 800 or 810. IDS means the demo server. IDS stands for Internal Demo Evaluation System. The one which we use for practice is the demo server. Okay, so shall we move to the next slide, Sushma and Jeffrey?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So modules in SAP. So many modules are present in SAP, but FICO is a classical module. So why FICO is classic? Because see, if you see other projects in any project in SAP, okay, so they will have an option like they can have SDMM, okay, but they might not have PP, FSCM, IMTR, okay. So all these are the modules. So whether or not these modules are present or not, FICO module has to be present. Okay, FICO is a mandatory module without which we cannot have a project, SAP project itself. Okay, But without these modules, you can definitely have a project. But without FICO, there is no SAP project. Okay. So coming to the next slide, types of projects. So like we see 4 types of projects in real time: implementation, support, rollout, and upgradation. So what do you mean by? Yeah, Sushma?
I didn't say anything.
Sushma, I'm not able to hear you.
I did not say anything.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. Okay, so 4 types of projects are there: implementation, support, rollout, and upgradation. So what do you mean by implementation? Implementation project means, so far you have been using some accounting package or another ERP, and you would want to newly go for SAP application. So for that you are hiring an IT company, and that IT company is responsible for implementation. So that is called implementation partner. That IT company will be called implementation partner. Okay. So in implementation project, in the IT company, like, the team will be divided into 2. One is for on-site and another one is for offshore. Offshore team means those people will be sitting in the IT company itself, in their location itself. And on-site team means it will go to the client place. Okay, so the on-site team is responsible to have the discussions with the subject matter experts and end users. They will be doing all the requirement gathering, and after doing all the requirement gathering, they'll be preparing a document called BBP, Business Blueprint. Business Blueprint documentation is called BBP, wherein this BBP is shared with the offshore team by the on-site team. So once the offshore team gets the BBP, according to the BBP, the configuration or the customization is done. Okay. So what is there in the BBP? BBP document is nothing but as is and to be put together is called BBP. So as is means how it was there already in the accounting package that we have been using so far before implementing SAP. And to be means how it has to be mapped, how that particular business process has to be mapped in SAP. That is called to be. So as is and to be put together is called BBP document. BBP stands for Business Blueprint. So the accounting package so far we have been using will be called legacy system. That is called a legacy system. So this is implementing of SAP. Okay. So I'll be sharing, many of the real-time documentation involved in implementation. Okay. And next is support project. So support project, when it comes into picture, when the implementation is already done. Okay. So after the implementation is done for 2 or 3 months, the implementation partner will be providing the support. Okay, only for 2-3 months they'll be providing. After that is done, then the client has to they will have to hire another IT company or the same IT company for the support project. Okay, so in this support project, the end users will be sending us different errors or questions, or if they have any doubts. Okay, they'll be sending through a ticketing tool. So ticketing tools, so many ticketing tools are present in the market, like Remedy, Marvel, SM9, SM7, ITSM, Solman. So these are few of the ticketing tools. In real time, if you see, 90% of the ticketing tool will be Remedy and Solomon. In few cases, they are using Marvel, SM7, SM9 also. Okay. So I will be sharing some ticketing tool with you. I'll be showing you how we are raising a ticket, how we are taking a ticket from a ticketing tool. Okay, how we will have to work on Remedy. I'll be showing you, in the coming classes. Okay, so as a consultants, we are supposed to go through the SLA. SLA means service level agreement. Okay. So our company, our IT company would have gone into some agreement with the client. So that is called SLA. SLA is nothing but service level agreement. So basing upon the service level agreement, we are supposed to solve the tickets according to the priority. According to the priority of the ticket. So that priority means, like, in SLA it will be described like, high priority tickets have to be solved in these many hours. Low priority means these many hours. Normal priority means these many hours. So everything will be mentioned in SLA. So before we get into the, before we start of working in a support project, we are supposed to go to the SLA. It will be provided with a document, SLA document. Okay. So we need to go through the entire document. And next is rollout. Okay, rollout project. So what do you mean by rollout project? Rollout project means SAP will be already implemented for one of the countries. Okay. Later you start a new business in another country. Okay. So for that new business you would want to implement SAP. Okay. For that you need not go for the entire implementation once again, because SAP is implemented for one of the existing business. You can copy the existing configuration and paste to the new company. Okay, so this is rollout from one country to the other country. You are rolling it off. Okay, and next is upgradation. The word is self-explanatory. Upgradation, that means you are upgrading to a newer version. From older one to a newer version, you are upgrading. That is called upgradation project. So 4 types of projects: implementation, support, rollout, and upgradation. Okay. Most of the cases, like, we will be put into support project only. In very few cases, implementation. Now coming to the next slide, hierarchy. So this is the hierarchy of a FICO consultant. Okay. So it does not mean that, in each and every company you will be seeing the same hierarchy. In some companies, the hierarchy is longer. In some companies, the hierarchy is short. Okay. So basing upon the company to company, the hierarchy may differ. Okay. So FICO consultants can start, with as an associate consultant, and then become senior associate, and then the consultant, and then senior consultant, then lead, then principal, then program manager, and so on. Okay. So this is the hierarchy or the business prospects of FICO consultant. So roles and responsibilities of a FICO consultant. So if we see the roles and responsibilities of a FICO consultant, the responsibilities played or the role played by FICO consultant always depends upon the project he is working. If at all he is a part of implementation project, then he has to be a part of either on-site team or offshore team, and then work on like whatever he's been assigned to. Okay. And if he is a part of support project, then he has to handle the tickets through the ticketing tool based on the SLA. Okay. So the roles and responsibilities always depend upon the project he's working in. So apart from this, he's responsible for end user training, preparing the user manuals. Okay. And next. So any questions so far?
No.
Okay. All right. So we are, yeah. So we are in the last slide. Okay. So we are going to discuss the methodology that is used for implementation. So 2 types of methodologies are used in real time. Okay. So 2 types of methodologies are used in real time. One is ASAP methodology and another one is Agile methodology. ASAP methodology is, it is a bit obsolete, but yet it is being used still. and the new methodology is agile methodology. Okay, but in demo we are covering only implementation, and also he will sketch on the business budget plan. Okay, so next is business blueprint. Business blueprint, as we already discussed, the on-site team is responsible for preparing the business blueprint. And what is present in business blueprint? Nothing but as is and to do. Okay, so SME stands for subject matter expert. So those people will be present in the client location. So the on-site team will be having regular meetings with them, and they will be preparing the business blueprint according to the inputs they have. They get the SMEs. And the third is realization phase. Realization phase is where we are doing the actual configuration, and that configuration should be based upon the BBP document. So if any gaps are found in the BBP, then we are supposed to do the customization. And then fourth is final preparation phase. So in this, the testing is being performed not only by functional consultants but also by the end users as well. Okay, so we are responsible, the consultants are responsible for giving the end user training. So that can be either by preparing the user manuals or giving the KTs to the end users. Okay, so after the testing is done, then we are required to do the cutover activities and do the data migration. So why this data migration is required? So far, for the past many years, they would have been using some legacy system. So whatever data that is present in the legacy system should be transferred to SAP system now. Okay, so for that they are doing the data migration from the legacy system to the SAP system. Okay, so once that is done, all the TRs are moved to the production system. Once all the TRs are moved to production system, the production system is said to be gone live. That means that a production system is pretty much, it can be accessed by end users in order to post day-to-day transactions. That is said to be gone live. Okay, after go live is done, then the implementation partner is required to provide support for a couple of months. Okay, then the project is said to be done. The project will be over after providing the support. Okay, then they will have to go for a new IT company or the same IT company for the support project. So that is how it is. So our demo is done. So regarding the course content, I will be sharing the course content with RVH Technologies, and they'll be sharing it with you. Okay. So as I said, the duration of the course will be 60 hours. That means 2 months time it will be taking. So I'll be covering FICU and integration as well. Okay. After the entire course is done, then I'll be sharing some real-time documentation and real-time concepts as well. Okay. So any questions so far, Sushma and Jeffrey?
I have a question. I'm actually planning to take certification in FICO. Do you also provide materials for certification?
Yeah, see, my course is more than enough for certification, but I would want to know what kind of certification, you would want to go for, whether it is only for FI or only for controlling or for both, or at what level of certification you would want to go for.
I was looking for SAP FI only, financial accounting, EHP, the EHP 7 one, and it's at the associate level actually.
Yeah, for associate level, definitely you will be able to, get through. Because many of my students have been certified after the training is done. They got certified.
Yeah, because and the other thing was also the software version. So there were three, when I looked for the certifications, there were three levels that were available, and it wasn't levels but three versions. One said EHP 6 and EHP 7. So which one would I be going for in certification? That was something that I was a little confused about.
Yeah. See, if at all you're going for the, the versions, that does not make any difference. Okay. For 6.0, if you see, like in UGL, we will have to, learn. That I'm anyways teaching. UGL documents sweeping and panel lectures anyways I'm teaching. But for EHP, you just find out whether funds management is also there. Normally it will not be there. Okay.
Okay.
Normally it will be there because funds management is treated as a separate module again.
Okay.
What all modules that you want, you please tell me. Apart from FICO, like if at all any module is also like, they are asking. In that case, I can cover that module also. Like, if you see project systems, commitment management, sometimes, the FICO consultant should be working on. Okay.
Okay.
But for certification, they won't be asking any other module. If at all you would want to go for financial accounting, then just have to learn FI module itself, not even controlling. Okay.
Yeah. I
So,
was only planning to do financial accounting.
yeah. So all the, advanced topics also, like I'm teaching. Till standard costing, I'm teaching in controlling, and in FI, I'm covering all the modules like GL, AP, AR, and asset accounting, along with integration.
Okay, so you will provide materials for that, you said. Okay.
Of course, I'm providing material.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, I have
yeah, Jeffrey, please tell me.
yes, I have a little concern. When I called earlier, one of my questions was when you guys provide an access to SAP login, right?
I'm not getting you, Jeffrey.
You're not getting me? Okay. Do you provide the login into the SAP for practice, right?
That will be provided by RVH Technologies.
Okay.
They will be giving it over.
Okay. One of my concern was, like I said, I took the class before,
Okay.
and I was having a problem practicing because when during the configuration, the customization, when you an example, when you assign a company to a fiscal year, something like that, it's locked. If another student is doing the same thing, you will not able to do anything until that student